hello, hello, hello. Such a pleasure to be here with you again this wonderful Monday evening for me, it's afternoon for some of y'all. Such a pleasure. We're talking about sales funnels today. Sales funnels, which always sounds so complicated. When I first heard the term sales funnel, I really thought it was some kind of really complex thing, and it can be. Okay, it can be a really complex thing. Lots of pieces, upsells, downsells, cross sells, blah 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 blah. There can be a whole lot of stuff involved in creating a sales funnel, but that's not what I'm talking to you about. Because yeah, I don't believe in complication. I was having this early Valentine's Day meal with my husband, and we were having this conversation about simplicity and complication or complexity when it comes to life. And I haven't completely accomplished it in all areas of life, I'm not going to lie. But I am firmly of the opinion that life is a heck of a lot, it can be a heck of a lot simpler than we as human beings allow it to be. We have a tendency to complicate everything. We have a tendency to, if something is too simple, we even want to find a way of making it seem complex. But what if, especially as spiritual people, there's a part of me that thinks we take on more things than we need to. We make things bigger than they have to be, and then suddenly you're dealing with 20 million people instead of just you and it's like a business. A super big business gets more and more complex, of course, the more people inside of the business. But we, as well, at this point in your business, or in your hopefully dreamt of business, or your already business, it doesn't need to be that complicated ultimately. Keep it simple. So I'm very much about bringing things down to simplicity and trying to see under all the noise, under all the nonsense, under all the drama, what is absolutely necessary for us to do in order to actually move our businesses forward in the context of business. In the context of life, even life doesn't need to be as complicated as it is. There's so much noise, nonsense, and drama that we all get engaged in that really makes life unnecessarily complicated. And I am on a quest to keep things simple, but even I sometimes buy into the whole things have to be complicated, and even silly things like when I'm teaching stuff in some of my programs, I can find myself and I have to hear the divine repeatedly telling me, Rosemary, keep it simple, because there's a part of me that's thinking, if it's too simple, people won't actually listen to what I'm saying. They might think that because it's so simple that it doesn't have value, so I better just add a little bit of complication to it so it sounds a bit more deep then a bit more deep, and then maybe people will listen better. But actually all that happens is that the people that are not going to listen are not going to listen anyway, whatever you do, and and the ones that do listen might get a little bit confused because you're making it unnecessarily complicated. Anyway, coming back to simple sales funnels here. My goal here with today's masterclass is to keep it simple. My big vision, big calling is to see at least 334,000 spiritual people, ambitious spiritual people, live in their purpose and make at least 6 figures whilst living in their purpose. So most of us in this community, not necessarily every single person, but the people I'm speaking to, you do want to transform people's lives. Whether it's with coaching, whether it's with healing, whether it's with teaching people stuff that you've learned. So using your skills, your experience, your wisdom, your knowledge, you want to transform other people's lives. You want them to get over things that maybe it took you too long to get over, or it might not actually be something you've got over at all, but you know that you're called to make a difference to someone's life. Well, I am here to help you do it as simply as possible, because you're not here to be a marketer as such. Now, when you're in business, you kind of have to take on the whole mantle of being a marketer, whether you like it or not. But at the same time, it can be so easy, as I say, to get caught up in all of you hear things like funnels and you're thinking, oh my God, it's some kind of really complicated something. No, it does not need to be a super complicated something. And in fact, I'm going to talk you through the only things that you need to make your own highly profitable and highly converting sales funnel. Okay, so listen in. This is for the determined. So as I said, you need to be ambitious. You need to be someone who does have a message inside of you, and you do want to make a difference. You're not just someone talking about it. You actually want to make it happen. This is the place for you. You want to coach, you want to heal, you want to teach people stuff through your courses. So you're a course creator or something. So you've either already begun or you're ready to start now. This is the right place for you. Okay? Now, The things that are going to get in your way and make things complicated, as I've already said, is one, you'll try and complicate it. Don't. Two, you'll doubt yourself. You'll wonder if you can do it. Yes, you can. I don't care if you're listening to me right now, you have enough technical skill to do everything that I'm going to talk you through. Yes, the first time you do it, it might feel quite, the learning curve might seem steep, but that's been the same with anything you've ever learned to do. So that doesn't need to faze you. Okay? There might be some fear. You wonder what people will think of you. Especially if you are so set in your ways and the way you've done things. Like I was a pharmacist. When I started to be coach, it seemed okay for me to be a property investor somehow, but then it seemed even less okay for me to be a coach as opposed to being a pharmacist. So I was so worried about what people would think of me. That here you are trying to be a coach. When you're a pharmacist, you should stay a pharmacist, or at least even property seemed a bit more prestigious. But pharmacy definitely felt really good, and that might be the thing that's holding you back. You might be older than I was, and you're so set in your ways, and people see you in a certain way, see you in a certain box, and you might allow that their perception of you to keep you from going after the things that you want. Stop. This is your life, okay? You know it, but do you really know it? When you're holding yourself back, when you're wondering what people think of you, and then you're acting based on that, are you really, really aware that this is your life, not theirs? There might be some uncertainty in you, okay? So you're uncertain that anybody wants to hear what you have to say. You're uncertain that what you have to say is even that valuable. You're uncertain because there's lots of other people saying the same thing, so why do you need to say it as well? Now, all of this underlying nonsense will get in the way of you moving forward. It will get in the way of you even hearing what I'm saying and doing anything with it, which is why I'm bringing it to your attention. Let's stop deceiving ourselves. Let's stop not seeing what is holding us back. It's like I was talking to my daughter today. There was an experience. She went to her dance class and she was having this. There was a bit of a people experience in the class, and the thing was that she didn't ask for what she wanted. She allowed her internal fears to stop her from asking for what she wanted. And then she allowed her internal fears as well to make her upset and all of this. And now, yes, from the outside looking in, that's the normal way of behaving. You know, somebody does something, you cry about it, you feel horrible about it. But what most people do not do, even adults, okay, is simply ask, simply, in some ways, separate yourself as much as possible from. There's the feelings around it. Yes, we need to feel the feelings. However, there's also the goal. There's there's a thing my daughter wanted, she didn't get. Instead, what she got was the fears and the doubts and the result of all of that. And we as adults, I would like to say that only children do this. We do it too. We get so caught up in the noise, the nonsense, and the drama that we forget what it is that we actually want. So it's like you want a 6-figure business. You want to coach, you want to heal, you want to transform people's lives. That's the goal. But then you get caught up in, oh, can I do it? Can I not do it? Oh, is what I have good enough? I'm not certain that even the divine wants me to do this. Oh my goodness. All of that is your feelings. Great, feel your feelings. But understand that none of those feelings in any way help you get to the goal. So whilst you continue to indulge the feelings, you are taking yourself off path. And it may seem normal. It may feel, all my trauma, this, and I need to heal this, and I need to that. Is it taking you to the goal? If it's not taking you to the goal, yes, I'm not saying don't heal. I'm not saying don't feel feelings. But understand that as you keep giving all of your energy to all of these things, it's not getting you where you want to go. And that's I did have to kind of say this to my daughter whilst hugging her. And I said, yes, feel what you feel, but when it comes down to it, you didn't ask for what you wanted and you didn't go in the direction of what you wanted. And yes, I feel what you're feeling. I get it. But I also want you to get what you want. And I'll say that to you guys too. And I'm not perfect at this by any stretch of the imagination, because sometimes your emotions can kind of take over everything. And then you forget, or you somehow take yourself out of the race and you're convinced that you had no other option. It's not true. Never true. If you really look at it, and in some ways separate yourself a little bit from how you are feeling, you would see that the actions you were taking had absolutely no way in hell ever going to get you to the 6-figure business, transforming people's lives. So we have to be very we watch ourselves, yes, but not watch ourselves so much that you kind of not even living life because you're watching yourself all the time. But let's stop giving ourselves outs. Let's put it that way. Don't give yourself an out just because you felt a little bit of doubt or fear or whatever. It doesn't mean anything. It's not getting you where you want to go, so therefore it doesn't mean anything. You can feel it, but then in the end, ultimately, you are one with the divine. You are powerful. You can create whatever it is that you desire. So start creating it. And I know, it sounds easier said than done. Yes, I know, I get that, and yet it still needs to be done. People always say that to me. Oh, it's so easy. It's easier said than done, Rosemary. Yeah, it is easier said than done. You still got to do it, though. So, because you can keep saying that, and you still won't get where you want to go. And the truth is, we can all get where we want to go. Okay? Sometimes you can't feel forward, truth be told. But, I get that whole feeling forward thing, but sometimes you can't. If you indulge your feelings too much, you'll just take yourself off path. That's it. And that can happen. That can simply happen. And you will justify it. That's the thing. Because yes, we are supposed to feel our feelings. Absolutely. But you will justify, oh, I had to do this, and I had to feel this way. I didn't want to spiritually bypass this and spiritually. Blah, blah, blah. Sometimes we spiritual people, we take good things and can make them bad. Basically, ultimately, you always have to keep coming back to, but what do you want though? I like to say to clients, feel your feelings, but act on your goals. Act on your goals. Your emotions usually come from what you're thinking about. So yes, it would be great to monitor, but don't go crazy, because this is the thing. I'm not trying to, you can't overly judge yourself into feeling better. You do have to feel the feelings, but you must also remind yourself continually, but this is what I want though. This is what I want though. So I'm going to keep acting in the direction of my goals, regardless of how I feel. Whilst at the same time, ask the divine to dissolve any feelings that are getting in the way, but keep asking yourself, is this getting me where I want to go? Am I going in the direction of what I want? That's the thing. That's the thing to keep in mind. So doubt, fear, all of that. As I was saying to my daughter this evening, we all feel these things. I feel doubt, I feel fear, I feel all of that stuff. But when it comes down to it, I have to ask, is this feeling getting me where I want to go? If I act upon this feeling, is it going to take me where I want to go? Or is it even going to hurt me more? It's like sometimes you might send out a text or something to someone and they don't respond immediately. They leave you on red because now we can see that in WhatsApp. And then you can start telling yourself stories about what this means. You don't know whether it means anything, but usually the stories you tell yourself are going to be stories that make you feel bad. Usually. How is that helping you? You don't know for a fact that the person is thinking whatever it is that you're thinking that they're thinking. So again, you have to ask yourself, what do I want in this situation? Do I want to be friends with this person? If I do want to be friends with this person, is it helping me to now start imagining all the things that they could be imagining because they left my text unread? Is it helping me to think this? Is it helping me to feel as if maybe they don't value my friendship? Blah, blah, blah. And I've fallen foul of this a lot of times, okay? So that's why I'm talking about this stuff. So you have to ask yourself, this stuff that I'm indulging, is it helping me? And sometimes you do have to feel it, but then you also have to remind yourself, but what do I want though? What do I want though? What do I want though? And then you take action in the direction of what you want. Again, feel your feelings, but act on your goals or your intentions. Okay, so these are the things that get in the way of you actually building a business, because you are telling yourself stories about what things mean when you don't actually know that they mean that, unless somebody specifically says to you, I hate you and that's why I left your text unread. If we're talking about text being unread, then then you don't know what was going on in the person's life. For someone like me, I do not respond to texts until I'm ready to. So if you suddenly started telling yourself stories about what it meant that I didn't read your text, you would probably be mistaken. It's probably that I haven't even seen it. But anyway, it's just consider what I'm saying here, guys, and really think through, what do I want though? And am I taking action to get what I want? Or am I taking action to make myself feel better? Sometimes feeling better isn't going to get you where you want to go. in the long term. You might have a short-term relief of tension, of emotional tension, but you're still not getting where you want to go. Be wise. Okay, let's be very clear. Your vision is your permission. So if you have a vision for something, that is all the permission you need to go and create it. You are very capable of your calling. You would not have a vision that you're not capable of bringing to life. You wouldn't. So any thought inside of you that tells you cannot do anything about it, it's a lie. Any idea that, I don't have the money, I don't have the support, it's a lie. You can do one thing forward. I have not met anyone that can't do something to move forward. So whenever people send me messages about, I don't have money and I don't have this, that's why I can't. It's a lie. I love you guys, but it's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie that you're believing, but it's a lie. Because you will always have the capability of taking at least one step in the direction of what you want. And then after that, another step will open up. There is always something you can do. It might scare you, but there's always something you can do. Always. I don't care what your bank balance looks like. I don't care how much time you think you do or do not have. Don't care what country you're based in. There's always something you can do. Always. Okay? You're capable of your calling. You do have a good heart. You do have a good heart. You do not need to prove this to anyone. Okay? So sometimes people, spiritual people particularly, you don't really go all in your business because you're worried that people will think that you're all about the money. You do have a good heart. We know you have a good heart. You do not need to prove it to anyone. If somebody's going to think that you're all about the money, that's their problem, not yours. Okay? The divine did not call you to be broke. The divine did not call you to be broke. Okay? So any concept you have inside of you that you're supposed to do things that are going to keep your business struggling, it's a lie. It's not the divine. It's not inspired. It is simply you acting on your feelings again. Okay? And the divine did not call you to serve people who are broke and refusing, or broke-minded, let's put it that way, who are refusing to change anything, and you are trying to force them to change things. No. The divine did not try to ask you to force anybody to do anything. So if you feel that you have to position your business just for people who are in no way wanting change or transformation, that you're somehow going to convince them to want transformation, it's a lie. The divine did not call you there, because the divine gives everybody free will, including you. So if you choose to throw yourself at people who do not want to be transformed, and then wonder why your business is not working, honey, you gotta look at what you're doing. Again, are you acting on your goals or are you acting on your feelings? Okay? Let's be wise about this, my loves. Okay. So you have to ask yourself again, how important is your mission to you? How important is it to you to create multi-generational wealth? How important is it to you to transform people's lives? How important is it to you to be that way shower in your family? Because depending on how important these things are to you, then you can no longer allow how you feel alone to be the determining factor as to what you do or do not do. Okay? You do need a strategy though. So we've spoken a little bit about what's going on inside of you, but you also need a practical strategy to move your business forward. And yes, you do need courage. Building a business to any kind of success level will take courage and bravery. It's the case with anything new that we do. For some reason, it just seems easier to do things like get a job, do all the training to get that job, you spend all the money to get the training to get that job. But then it comes to your business, you are suddenly holding back, and I can't afford this, and I can't do that, and I don't have the time for this, and it's because of lack of courage. Except it's not that you don't have courage. Is that you're choosing not to use it for the thing that is most important to you. You're choosing to use your courage to stay on a path that you know is not even working for you. But you tell yourself, well, sometimes it's not even conscious, because some of y'all have started a business, but you're not doing what you need to do to make it work, because you're kind of in and out all at the same time. In and out. You're acting on your feelings, not actually your vision of a business that really transforms lots of people's lives and that supports your life as well. Okay? Somehow you might tell yourself that it's bad for you to support yourself with your own giftings. That's a nonsense of a nonsense of a nonsense. But again, that's you acting on feelings, not your intentions. So again, guys, watch yourself. Watch yourself, but watch yourself. Love the fact that you might have made some mistakes. Love yourself and guide yourself towards acting in your own best interests, guys. In your own best interests. This is why I'm doing like the program Pray, Affirm, Receive, to help you act in your own best interests, because your inner world can be such a pit of craziness if you don't realize what is happening, and most people do not realize what is happening. So they're working and taking lots of practical action, but because you're coming from a foundation of messiness, it's not getting you where you want to go. You got it. I'm glad. I said it enough times, so hopefully you'll all hear me. Okay. The other thing to say, the other thing about building a business is, yes, you need a strategy, which we're going to talk about next. You need courage, which we kind of started to talk about now. But also you need to have the courage actually to stay in a place of discomfort until your limiting beliefs have changed. Okay? You have to, there's something about spiritual people that have a tendency to think that if something feels difficult, it must not be the will of the divine, or maybe you're trying to push too hard and the universe doesn't want to give you something and blah, 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 nonsense like that. Sometimes changing your life, building a business, in fact, a lot of the time, building a business is going to feel uncomfortable to you. It's going to feel tense emotionally. You need to be able to stay in that tension until you break through. Not immediately decide, it must not be the divine's will, so I'm going to quit. Oh, I must be going against something. Nonsense. The ability to stay in the tension is it's actually a business skill that sometimes everybody has, but you don't always use. Start to use it. Sometimes it's going to feel tense. Stay the course. Anyway. Okay, moving on. I'm Rosemary Nonny Knight. Just so you know. A weird blend of African and English. Born in the UK, went back to Nigeria, came back again, blah, blah, blah. Seen all kinds of different things, which is why I speak in the specific way that I do. I used to be a pharmacist. Finally, after going bankrupt, after 4 years of depression, finally decided I wanted to do something different. I'd always known I wanted to do something different, but all the stuff that I just spoke to you about, I fell foul of. Okay, I stayed in the normal pharmacy route, even though I knew I didn't want to be a pharmacist. But it seemed safe. It seemed comfortable. It seemed like the reasonable thing to do. And doubt always looks like reason. Okay, it always looks like you're being reasonable, and so you can always logicalize it. But ultimately, I didn't believe enough in myself to go after doing my own thing until I hit rock bottom, at least what seemed to be rock bottom at that point in my life, which was bankruptcy and 4 years of depression. And then my 3 amazing daughters came through in that 4-year period, thank the Lord. And that also gave me inside of me that no, I had to show them a different way. And so I started building a business. I did it in property first because, again, that seemed more practical. So I went down the practical route again. So it was like I just took a sideways route into property. And we still have properties and such, but I realized it wasn't really what I wanted to do. And I was working with a coach who said, Rosemary, what do you really want to do? At which point I said, I would love to be a coach, but I don't think I can. I feel as if it's something I need to do when I'm about 52 or 72 or something with more life experience. Then I can help other people in that way. Even though I was doing stuff like this at church, and I've been doing it since I'm like 10 years old, but I thought I couldn't. And then my coach said, Rosemary, start doing what you actually want now. So that's how I started coaching, and first of all, taught people what I was doing in property because I'd made multi-6 figures in 18 months doing that strategy. And so started as a business coach for property investors, and then a business coach, and then a business coach with a spiritual sprinkle, and then more like a spiritual coach then I wanted to be a spiritual coach, but I must admit, I got frustrated with people that came to me without a goal. And I need people to have something that they're working towards. I get impatient if people are just talking about stuff. Now, when we're working towards a business, we're going to have to deal with your actual, normal, regular, everyday stuff. But I'd rather know that we're working towards something. There's a goal we're working towards. For me, the goal I'm usually working with my private clients is 6 figures in 12 months from working with me. That's what I want to see happen. I can't promise anybody, everybody, everything, because I don't know exactly what people will do. But that's my goal. My goal is when I'm working with somebody in a year, they're making 6 figures. And yes, then we deal with all the internal craziness. Okay, so that's my journey. That's how I do things. I work with ambitious spiritual people to support them in making 6 figures whilst transforming other people's lives. That's my thing. That's my journey. That's how I got here. Let's carry on. Okay, so let's talk about the strategy of how to create your own sales funnel. It's not that complicated. I talk about this stuff all the time. I use different words to say it, but it's the same thing over and over and over again, hoping that you guys will hear it in a different way or in a way that will get you into action. That's my thing, because if I can just get you into action, that will change everything. Well, into action both internally and externally. Let's put it that way. So the first thing we're looking at when we're trying to create your own funnel, for someone who wants to start a 6-figure coaching, healing, or course creator business, this is what you need to do. What is the problem that you're solving for people? What is the problem you're solving for people? What is the problem you're solving for people? It needs to be a problem that they are aware of having, okay? I know that you might just want to empower people, or you just, I don't know, it can't be vague. It needs to be something that people are aware of having, okay? So once you've figured out what that is, I talk about this in another masterclass, but for now, you just need to know what is the problem that I'm solving for the people that I'm here to serve, okay? A problem that they are aware of having, not a problem that you think they should be aware of having. They must know that they have this issue, okay? So it's like, I have, as I said, I work with ambitious spiritual people to thrive, to prosper, to make at least 6 figures whilst living in their purpose. The problem I'm solving people, they haven't made 6 figures whilst living in their purpose. They're unfulfilled and they're not making 6 figures. They know that they have this problem. That's it. So that's the problem I'm solving. What is yours? It needs to be something clear. Okay? From that, once you know that, you can create a free giveaway. So like when I decided this was who I was going to work with, I created a book called The 6-Figure Spiritual Business Book. How business growth plan. I now call it the Get Paid to Transform Lives book, because ultimately I just changed the title because I liked the new title better. But ultimately it was a 6-figure spiritual business book, which the subtitle was something along the lines of the business growth blueprint, how to step by step to grow your business, blah, blah, something like that. But very, very clearly saying exactly what people would get when they got the book. Okay. That free giveaway, it took me 1 afternoon to create. I went and sat in a coffee shop, I typed the whole thing up, and it literally lists out a strategy that anyone can follow to create a business, because I wanted it to have value. So even though it's a free giveaway that you're creating, it needs to have value. It needs to be something that will solve a problem for someone. It needs to have a title that will call on the people that are aware of having the problem that you want to solve. Keep these things simple. Keep these things simple. I cannot emphasize this enough. It took me years to learn this keep things simple thing. Because sometimes, again, as spiritual people, you want everything to sound really deep and meaningful. And saying something like making 6 figures, for me, for a long time, felt too shallow and too money grabbing. When actually, that is exactly what my people want, even though sometimes they are too scared to admit that that's what they want. But that's why I'm looking for ambitious ones who are not too afraid. They might feel a little bit squeamish around it, but they're not too afraid to actually admit, this is what I want. You want that, okay? You want that clarity. Remember I said at the very beginning of this thing, we need to keep these things simple. Let your title of your free giveaway be very clear. So it gets only the attention of people who are willing to admit that they have the problem that you can help them solve. So that you are gaining people onto your mailing list. You're getting a group of people who have the problem you're trying to solve. Now, some people might just come on because they're curious. You can't control that completely. But to the best of your abilities, make sure that free giveaway has a title that is very, very clear. Very, very clear. Very, very clear. For whatever reason, we find it very difficult sometimes to be very clear, usually because of fear that if I say this specifically, then people might think that I'm a scam artist or something. let those people go. You do not need to serve every single person on the planet. You just want the ones who are willing to say, yes, this is what I want. Actually, I need to rush here because I have a call in 23 minutes. So that's number 2. A free giveaway with a very clear title that is connected to the problem you're solving for people. Create a landing page for people to sign up for it. Okay? So a landing page is just a single web page. There are services like I use lead pages. You don't need a whole website. They give you one page to create this landing page where people can be sent to sign up for your free giveaway. Okay? So on that landing page, you have the title. In my case, it was a 6-figure spiritual book. I said, get a copy of the 6-figure spiritual business book here for free. At that point, it was for free. These days, it's not. The subtitle, I write that on there. I had an image, which I created in Canva, was also on the page. All of these things are very simple. I know if you've never done it before, it might seem complicated, but it's not. I teach all of this in Get Paid to Transform Your Life. I've shown you videos, exactly what to do. And most of the services give you videos on exactly what to do. So again, if you're listening to me here and telling yourself that, oh, it's too technical, it's a lie. It's not. If you are able to listen to me here and you can look at things on social media, you have enough technical skill to do everything I'm talking about here. Okay? So there's a title, there's a subtitle, and there's the bullet points of the benefits that people will be getting if they get this book, or free giveaway. It can be a book, can be a video, can be an audio, it can be whatever you want it to be, but it be something, as I said, connected to the problem you're solving for people. And then a button to click through. That's all you want on the page, nothing else. You do not want to link to your blog or your whatever. You don't want any of that. Nothing else. Just those things on that page, an image, title, subtitle, bullet points of the benefits they're getting, and a button for them to sign up for it. You want people only to be able to sign up for it or to leave the page altogether. Okay? Okay. As soon as they sign up, you want to have a thank you page connected to it. So the thank you page will be you asking them to have a conversation with you. Oh, so do you want to make 6 figures by this time next year? Okay, let's have a quick conversation in the 6-figure spiritual business consultation. Incidentally. Okay, so they get the 6-figure spiritual business book and they get the 6-figure spiritual business consultation. Where, yes, again, the idea again is, is this who you are? Do you want a 6-figure spiritual business? Whatever. Are you a coach? Are you a healer or a course creator or somebody that's about to be one? Is that you? Do you definitely want to make money by this time next year? Are you ready to do it now? Not just hoping and wishing and praying for it, basically. And so I asked those questions. You do not have to ask these questions. When I just started, I didn't qualify that much. Anybody interested will get on the phone. But as I went deeper into business, I started to qualify a bit more. And then I just give them a quick on that landing page where after they signed up for the book or the free giveaway, they come onto this page, asking them, do you actually want this now? Would you like support in getting this thing that you've put your hand up and said you're interested in? Okay, let's have a conversation. Give me your telephone number in addition to your email address. So rather than just email address on the first page, this one we want the telephone number as well. Okay, so we'll collect their telephone number from the second page. Not everybody's going to do it. So you'll get, let's say, it depends on what your conversion rates are. But imagine you got 30% to convert on the first page. Now, I like to get higher than that, but 30% is a good one according to most people. And then you maybe get 10% or less of the 30% that signed up for the free giveaway will sign up for a consultation because it's a bit of a higher thing for someone to give you their telephone number. Okay? So, and that's okay, though. You set that up. Once you've set that up, that is your funnel. Okay? That is your funnel. Yes, you can do things like upsells, downsells, round sells to begin with. You do not need to do all of that. A funnel does not need to be that complicated, okay? Please don't buy into the need to complicate things. You need to get people on the phone. If you're not making 6 figures yet, get people on the phone, okay? Because you're more likely to build a bit of a relationship with people on the phone, and they're more likely to trust you when they speak to you, okay? So once you've built this out, which is literally your free giveaway, your landing page for them to sign up for that free giveaway, and then a landing page for them to give you the telephone number so you can have a conversation, that's your funnel. All you need to do now is send people to it, okay? So you use things like social media. you use advertising. Advertising for me is a very big way of building my list. And in person, if you're in person somewhere, you go for a networking event, you go and give talks, whatever, tell them to get your free giveaway. That's always your thing, is to get people to get onto your mailing list. Because you also know this. Even if they do not sign up for a conversation with you immediately, if they are on your mailing list, you have many other opportunities, potentially, as long as they do not unsubscribe, to invite them to get on the phone with you. Okay? So let that become your calling card, whatever you're doing. Instead of trying to get them straight onto the phone, get them onto your mailing list. Let them enjoy your free giveaway. That's why I said it needs to have value. So when they read it or they consume it in whatever way, they start to buy into you. More likely then to say yes to a phone call, right? Okay. So use social media, use advertising, do in person, do online talks like this one. Do online talks, do whatever. Get people, send them to that landing page to sign up for the lead magnet. Okay. And as soon as someone gives you their telephone number, you get on the phone. I remember when I started doing this first, I literally would be by the phone. As soon as someone signed up to speak to me, I would call them. Because I knew that if I left it too long, the chances are that burst of enthusiasm, by the time I speak to them later on in the day, or the next day or 2 days later, they've forgotten about it. They might even have forgotten that they signed up for it. And that's happened, where it's like, who are you? Basically. And there's nothing more annoying than when you call somebody who booked an appointment with you and they've forgotten who the heck you are. Basically, it does something to your ego. Okay, so I used to get on the phone with them quickly. So as soon as someone signs up, I would be literally on the phone. Oh, I saw your application come through. Do you have a moment now to have a conversation, or should we book something into the calendar? Because again, I'm touching base with them. Now, it doesn't mean that, because I was about to say, the fact that I'm speaking with them, they're more likely to show up for the appointment. Doesn't mean that they always will, though. Do not let it mean anything about you. This is also where this whole feel your feelings, do not act on your feelings, okay? Because you could start telling yourself what it means that somebody gave you the wrong number, or that they didn't answer the phone when it was your appointment, when it was appointment time, and they don't know you, and you can start telling yourself stories, and you'll talk yourself out of growing your business. And you'll think that it's absolutely justified. Nobody wanted to speak to me. I couldn't convert anybody. It was just horrible. No, it was only because you told yourself stories. Okay? You told yourself stories about what all of this meant, when actually it just meant that somebody was having a bad day, or they forgot, or who knows what. Had nothing to do with you. Okay? So get on the phone with people quick. Do not make any of it mean anything about you. Yours is simply to make the invitation. Listen to them. Listen to their needs. Listen to their desires, listen to what they think is getting in the way, make your proposal. This is what I think I can do to help you. Would you be interested? No? Okay, next. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. SW. Okay, remember that. And also, of course, show up with all of your heart and, do your best to help them make the decision to work with you, because it will benefit them. So you must believe that inside of yourself, because that will help you show up more powerfully on the calls, even show up more powerfully in the free giveaway, everything, if you believe in what you're doing. But make sure, ultimately, just don't make any of it mean anything apart from, I want to grow my business. Therefore, I'm going to get as many people to come through my funnel as possible. Because the more people I get coming through my funnel, the more likely I am to have people that I will allow me to serve them. And because the more people I serve, the more money I will make. That just needs to be your story. Any other thing about what it means that they gave you the wrong number, or what it means that they didn't answer the phone, or what it means that they didn't buy from you this time, all of that is nonsense. Stick with, this is what I want, and I will keep moving forward, doing the next thing until I get what I want. The end. Okay. What else? Yeah, you keep testing and tweaking this stuff. So you look at your conversion on the free giveaway. If you tweak some words, if you change the title, can you make it better? Then do that. You look at the after that, you look at the landing page for the consultation. If I tweak a few words, if I change a few things, will that make more people convert and more telephone numbers come my way? Okay, then you test and tweak. Don't go crazy. When you get a good enough conversion, leave it alone. And let just your whole day becomes about getting people to go through your funnel, getting as many people as you can through that funnel. That's the joy of using the internet, is that we can reach a heck of a lot more people than we could when we have to do networking. But the benefit of networking and actually seeing people in person is that you don't need as many people to convert into clients, because they actually know you as an actual human being. So there are pros and cons to either approach. Okay. Yours as well is now that they're on your mailing list. So once they sign up for the free giveaway, unless they unsubscribe, they are on your mailing list forever. In which case, you can keep following up with them. Even if they did not sign up for the call the first time, you keep following up with them. You keep following up with them. Some will not sign up for that consultation. You keep following up with emails. Some will not sign up to work with you. You keep following up with emails. Okay? I was on some guy's list for 6 years. 6 years, and I didn't buy a thing from him. And then the first thing I bought from him was like $197. And then immediately after that, I bought a £10,000 package to work with him. And I was in his list for 6 years. And if he hadn't kept following up with me, because that was the thing, I remember thinking in my head, well, he's been in business for 6 years. He must be here to stay. So let's work with him. And that literally was it. So do not underestimate the power of consistency. Do not underestimate the power of consistency. Okay, that's it in terms of funnel. Do not make it more complicated than what I just said, because it's not. It's not more complex than this. As I said, the first time you do it, it might feel that way. But if you have guidance, that can make it easier to get through. Okay? Do not let your fears win. Do not let doubts win. But then also realize this. All of this only works if you work it. Okay? You can pray, you can affirm, you can do all the energy work on the planet, you can, try and heal all your feelings and all your emotional trauma from your childhood and everything, which all of these things are essential. So I'm not even downplaying them at all. But that alone will not grow your business. You also have to grow your business. I am that girl who did do a forgiveness day with a coach, and then my business did double in 90 days. But there was a business that could double. Okay? I had a business in place that could double. Sometimes people are doing all of this praying and affirming and all the internal work, but you don't even have a business structure in place. You don't have anything that could do anything. And then you're wondering why you're not making any money. It's because maybe you threw one post on social media last week and then nobody really responded. And that's your business, basically. That's it. I put a few things on social media and that's it. It's like, that's not a business, my love. It's not. I like to keep things simple, but that is just like too simple. Okay? So we need to have some kind of structure in place, something that has the chance to make 6 figures. Okay? Okay. So you must partner all your internal work must be partnered with actual practical action so that your business can grow. So yes, would you like support in setting all of that up? Have you tried and failed in the past? And would it help to have an objective, experienced eye just kind of look at what you're doing and help you see where the mistakes could be, or give you a structured plan to build an actual business structure? Okay? If you are ready for that next step, then yeah, a mentor would help. Okay? Because if not, you might just keep chasing your tail forever, not really realizing what you're not doing right. And I've spoken to so many people who want in these businesses, but then I ask them what they're doing, and most people do not have any kind of business structure in place at all. You can't, it's not going to work. I know we can pray and we are powerful, but if you want consistent cash flow, you have to do what will create consistent cash flow. Okay? Okay? So if you are ready to really take you and your business more seriously than you have done to date, and I don't want to diminish anything that you've already tried to do, okay? In case you're already in business and you've been trying very hard and it's not quite getting somewhere, there's usually something that you're not doing. It's maybe something you're refusing to do, something you're refusing to see, that somebody else can point out for you. Because you're in it, you can't always see it. Well, if you are ready and interested in figuring out your next moves, the first thing you have to do is get a copy of my book, okay? Because I don't do the consultations anymore unless someone has at least demonstrated some kind of interest in in being in my world, okay? So first and foremost, you get a copy of my book, the Get Paid to Transform Lives book, or the Spirit Speaks book. Get either one of them, or get both. That would be really better for you. The Get Paid to Transform Lives book will go into great more detail on what we even talked about today, because literally I put in there a very clear strategy on exactly how to take yourself to six figures if you will do it. If you will do it. Most people, when things are low cost, they don't do it. You can be the different one, okay? If you will do it, it will help you, okay? But even then, I know that you could try to do it on your own, but there's some things that just helps to have somebody with you. And once you're on my mailing list, you'll start to hear about the various ways you can work with me, okay? There's definitely the Get Paid to Transform Lives 6-week program where we can work this stuff out together. And anybody that goes through that, then we decide whether we want to carry on working together on a more long-term basis. But that's 6 weeks. My goal with that 6 weeks is to help you have a business structure in place that is capable of making six figures by this time next year, if you will continually do what we agree that you will do in that 6 weeks. Okay? So, but first, in order to hear about that, you need to come onto my mailing list. Get the Get Paid to Transform Lives book, which is in the link in my bio if you're on Instagram, or I believe I put the link around this video if you're watching this on Facebook. Okay, guys, it's been a pleasure speaking with you today. I'm generally here at the same time every Monday, so you can come and hear me talking about whatever I'm talking about that week, basically. It'd be great to have you in the world, deeper into my world. Come onto my mailing list. Yes, you will hear from me very frequently. If you have a fear of too many emails, do not come onto my mailing list. I send a lot of emails. More than, I don't think anybody I know has ever sent as many emails as I do. So, so if you're scared of words, don't come onto my list. If you recognize that you do not have to read every single thing I send you, but that you can also, but you would like to find out about working with me in a deeper capacity, then get on the list, okay? And don't allow the emails to scare you to death. Just read them, because you'll find that they're actually quite inspirational. And they do. My goal, even with my emails, is that they will support you in moving forward in some way. So, it's been a pleasure. Until the next time, my loves. Go forth and prosper. You are meant for everything that you will allow yourself to create. You are one with the divine. You are more powerful than you realize. It's time to step up. Much amazing love. Bye, honeys. Bye-bye.